Welcome to an explainer that connects the massive global environmental challenges we're facing today right down to actionable, highly localized solutions. Look around, our planet is under unprecedented pressure right now, from extreme weather patterns to incredibly rapid resource depletion. We all share one planet, and ultimately one future. But the solution isn't just some distant, overly optimistic hope. It actually lies in a very structured framework of sustainable development and responsible action. We know it as ESG, environmental, social, and governance.
Now, I want you to really think about this number for a second. 50 million. That is 50 million metric tons. To put that into perspective, that is literally heavier than the Great Wall of China. And what it represents is the amount of toxic e-waste that is growing every single year around the world. It's actually the fastest growing waste stream on the planet right now. This one number is a massive wake-up call. It demands an immediate, radical shift in how we handle our resources, how we manufacture our tech, and how we manage our digital footprint. We absolutely cannot afford to ignore this anymore.
So to unpack this massive challenge, we're going to explore the problem through a structured lens. We've got 6 key areas to hit. First, the global ESG imperative. Second, India's sustainability journey. Third, smart tech in cities. Fourth, circular economy and e-waste. Fifth, corporate leadership and BSRS reporting. And finally, Vision 2030, a sustainable future. Let's dive right in.
Okay, starting with Section 1, we're looking at the global ESG imperative and how it addresses these macro-level environmental crises.
The crucial takeaway here is that while these environmental challenges, things like severe water scarcity, urban air pollution, massive waste generation, are undeniably global issues, the actual solution requires highly localized and measurable action. And that is exactly where ESG steps in. It gives us a measurable framework. The E tackles carbon emissions and resource conservation. The S focuses on community development, healthcare access, and employee well-being, which makes sure our rapid digital growth doesn't leave vulnerable communities behind. And the G? Well, that enforces ethical leadership and transparency, so companies aren't just making empty promises. Because let's face it, you can't manage what you don't measure. And ESG is quite literally how we measure our survival.
Moving right along to Section 2, let's see how these global imperatives are actually playing out on a massive national scale in India.
India is really emerging as a frontrunner in sustainable development, tackling these hurdles head-on through some seriously coordinated infrastructure initiatives. We're talking about a hard national net zero commitment by 2070, and the Smart Cities mission alone, that represents an investment of over 2 lakh crore rupees just to digitally monitor and optimize urban resources. Just think about that for a second. How many everyday traffic jams or water supply leaks could be fixed with that level of digital infrastructure? We're also seeing the Swachh Bharat mission using digital municipal monitoring, plus a 7,000 crore rupee investment in the e-courts mission for digital governance. India is fundamentally weaving digital architecture directly into its public resilience.
All right, jumping into Section 3, let's look at how technology is the ultimate accelerator for all these sustainability goals.
Because technology isn't just a tool we use anymore, right? It's the infrastructure we live inside. When we integrate digital systems across core sectors, it creates this incredible operational value while actively protecting the environment. Take healthcare. Telemedicine and secure clouds are driving us towards zero-waste, eco-friendly hospitals. In the travel sector, AI route optimization directly cuts down fossil fuel use. And in Industry 4.0, things like digital twins and supply chain platforms can slash factory IT spending by up to 40%, all while tracking sustainable ethical materials. It is a total win-win for both the bottom line and the planet.
But here's the catch. To make those industries run so smoothly, you absolutely need connected infrastructure. That means rolling out IoT sensors and smart HVAC systems to build truly green buildings. It means setting up smart grids that can take somewhat unpredictable renewable energy like solar and wind and stabilize it for everyday use. And it even trickles down to you and me with intelligent home automation. Take Tata Power Easy Home, for example, which tweaks your energy use based on real-time data. So whether it's optimizing a massive energy grid or just adjusting the AC in your living room, connected infrastructure is the bedrock of the modern smart city.
So, that brings us to Section 4. What actually happens when all that brilliant connected tech reaches the end of its life?
Well, this comparison right here perfectly captures a paradigm shift we urgently need to make. For decades, we've been stuck in a linear economy. You know the drill. Take, make, dispose. The result? Those 50 million metric tons of toxic e-waste we talked about earlier. It's just not sustainable. The new model, the one we absolutely have to adopt, is the circular economy. Reduce, reuse, refurbish, recycle. This framework stretches a device's lifetime, safely recovers valuable raw materials like copper and gold, and flips toxic waste into an actual economic resource. The whole mindset has to change. Waste has to become a resource, not a burden.
And to make sure this circularity actually happens, India rolled out the E-Waste Management Rules of 2022. This introduced something called Extended Producer Responsibility, or EPR mandates. Basically, producers are now legally on the hook to track, collect, and recycle their products across 21 different categories of IT and consumer electronics. There is a strict, mandatory 50% collection target by 2025. And this is where it gets really interesting. If a company recycles more than its target, it earns EPR credits. These credits are traded on portals, kind of like a stock exchange, going for anywhere between 5 and 15 rupees per kilogram. So it financially rewards companies for doing the right thing through proper IT asset disposition programs.
Now, as you can probably guess, navigating all these complex EPR targets, credit codes, and compliance rules is a massive undertaking for any modern business. That's exactly why specialized organizations step in. For example, the Chanchal Group acts as a dedicated partner in e-waste and EPR. They manage IT asset recovery efficiently, making sure materials are ethically recovered and all those legal mandates are met. If your business is trying to figure out these complex challenges, it's good to know that specialized experts are just a quick call or email away to help you get seamlessly compliant.
Okay, moving into Section 5. We've seen the operational and waste management side of things, but how is corporate accountability actually being enforced at the highest levels?
The real game changer here is a framework called the BRSR Core. That stands for Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting and was introduced by SEBI. This is a monumental shift for corporate India. It forces listed companies to publicly disclose highly specific, non-financial data about their environmental and social impact. We're talking hard numbers on greenhouse gas emissions, water usage, gender diversity, the whole works. Basically, it's the end of greenwashing. It takes sustainability from a voluntary, feel-good PR stunt and turns it into a strictly audited legal requirement. ESG reporting is now held to the exact same rigorous standards as your financial auditing.
And SEBI isn't messing around. They are driving this through a very aggressive, phased rollout. It kicked off voluntarily for the top 150 companies in the 2023-24 financial year. But look closely at 25-26. It becomes mandatory for the top 250 companies, and here is the kicker. It includes their value chain. That means the biggest corporations are legally required to report on the sustainability of their smaller suppliers too. Then, by 26-27, it expands out to the top 500 companies and requires mandatory third-party assurance. So the largest listed companies in India are being held completely accountable, and that accountability is eventually going to trickle down to touch every single business in the ecosystem.
Let's bring it all together for our sixth and final section. Where does all this strict regulation, incredible tech innovation, and circular thinking actually take us?
Honestly, it takes us toward a massive shift in our core philosophy. The world right now is buzzing with this new kind of energy, the energy of smart transformation. Building this interconnected green future means every single organization has to pivot from that linear, short-term thinking into holistic, ESG-driven leadership. It's about using AI to optimize our grid, respecting the physical life cycle of the hardware we rely on, and being completely transparent about our impact. It's the ultimate proof that technological advancement and environmental stewardship do not have to be enemies. They can and must be partners.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. The choices we make today, the infrastructure we decide to invest in, the waste we choose to recycle, the level of transparency we commit to will absolutely determine the kind of world we leave for tomorrow. Is your organization actually ready to lead this change? Think about how these frameworks apply to your own daily operations. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep innovating, and let's keep building a smarter future together.